Syndicate program.
Hello there, welcome to Blitz Transmissions. I'm Tommy, and welcome to the Blitz Barracks number 9. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this for 9 months straight now. You may notice I'm alone. I'm riding solo, flying Han Solo on this one here as I forget to turn my lights on my shelves. I'm going to be so real. I've had such a busy work schedule the last 4 or 5 days that I looked and I was like, oh, yeah, it's the last Sunday of the month on the 29th. Happy birthday to my sister. But I was like, oh man, I should probably get together a Blitz Barracks stream, because that's the whole thing, guys. Blitz Barracks is my monthly live series on the last Sunday of every single month. We go live. And you'll notice the theme for Blitz Barracks was I get a bunch of friends together. We do a big panel, we share our thoughts on, basically catch up on the last month for Star Wars, whether it be news, toys, you name it. And this time around, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this by myself. Sometimes it's a little too much to just be like scrambling for guests all the time. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do one by ourselves, and we're going to talk some wish lists, because that's been a pretty big community topic, especially in the vintage collection community. A lot of wish listing been going on, so I'm excited. We're gonna get into it. I've also never streamed this early in the day unless it was a what's it called? A fan stream live reaction, and so I understand this whole thing was very, very last minute. So we're gonna get into it, but of course we got to check out all our friends in the chat. So, of course, the first guy in here was Mr. Star Wars and Brews himself. Shout out to Mr. Star Wars and Brews for being both a Rancor Battalion channel member and an ARC Trooper in the Patreon. Guys, I'll do a little sidebar here before we continue. If you would like to check out my reviews early on YouTube, or you just want to support the YouTube channel more directly, you can always check out my YouTube channel membership, Rancor Battalion. It's just 99 cents a month. You get access to all my reviews early here on YouTube. You get exclusive badges, priority replies in my comment section, and you get to vote on what I review next for the channel, which is also a benefit of the Blitz Transmissions ARC Trooper Patreon. That is $4.99 a month over on Patreon. You get to check out all of my content early, as well as make suggestions on my content. You get an exclusive, there's an exclusive Discord channel in my Discord server called the ARC Trooper Barracks for ARC Troopers. You get to join that. And then on top of that as well, you get monthly giveaways. And don't worry, guys, tomorrow I will be sharing, either later today or tomorrow, I'll be sharing the pool of items for my Patreon members to choose from for that giveaway. So, if you want to check either of those out, link in the description below. We've also got the Max Rebo Experience, who is also both a Rancor Battalion channel member and ARC Trooper in the Patreon here. We got Raul, another Rancor Battalion channel member. We got Mr. Star Wars 1138, Rancor Battalion channel member. You guys are going off. We got Mr. Bly himself. Praising God, man. Praise God. Bly's not going to be here for this one. He is, again, both a Rancor Battalion channel member, ARC Trooper in the Patreon, the absolute GOAT. And everybody's wishing him safe travels. Unsafe travels, Bly. Unsafe travels. Hey, Michelle and Lil Beastie, my daughter and I are excited for this stream after Toylanta. Are you guys going today? If you guys are going today, make sure you say hi to the SKN boys, because they're over there. They just revealed their big-ass pirate ship for the Legends of the Seven Seas line. Make sure to go check that out. Oh, the front of the pirate ship, it's 3D printed, has a 1-to-1 scale human skull. It's absolutely insane. And I saw David Vonner, in one of their videos on SKN, David Vonner sat next to it, and it was absolutely nuts. So cool. And I think I'm going to be getting into that line when that drops. We got Tops .375. Tops might be making an appearance in some of our discussion topics. I have about 7 million tabs above my screen here that we're gonna check out a lot of wish lists and stuff today, giving a lot of shout outs out as we usually do. We got classic, what's going on, how we doing, and hey, look at that, special shout out to Star Wars and Brews for the $10 super chat. You're a real one, man. Best Sunday of the month. Man, I've thought about making this thing weekly, dude. I really have, but let me know what you guys think of that. I might do a poll in my Discord. What would you guys think about if I did this is a weekly series here on Blitz Barracks? Let me know. And then we got Star Wars Collective. What's up, brother? How we doing? Been loving the recent videos from Star Wars Collective lately, so go check him out on YouTube. And loving his editing style is just, it's awesome. It's awesome. Hey, we've got Cassidy. What's going on, Cassidy? The creator of Cube Squadron. We might be talking about Cube Squadron a little bit here in a minute as well. And we got Michelle and Little Beastie. My wish list figures are the ones in the audience of Anakin's pod race. Characters from the deleted scene of Phantom Menace where Greedo's beat up by Anakin, since we now have both. I would like to see that, little kid Greedo. I feel like they could cobble that together from existing tooling. That'd be cool. Any Star Wars character. Give me every and any Star Wars character. I'll buy them all. That's my character selection. Hell yeah. Of course, dude. Of course. Got to spread the love where we can. So, speaking of spreading the love, I got to give some shout-outs to our not sponsors. We're not sponsored, but we are partnered. So, I definitely want to share my screen here. We'll give a couple shout-outs before we get into the wish listy topics here. So, the first one that I want to shout out here is obviously our friends over at Carbonites. Now, Carbonites had a few drops this past month for some cases. I believe we've had 3 new cases of Carbonites this month. I should also give a disclaimer, guys, before we get into anything further here. If my internet drops at all, it's a StreamYard issue. I've been having issues with StreamYard lately. You guys, if you've seen the last couple episodes of the Sarlacc Digest Toy Chest on Mondays, which we do every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Sarlacc Digest channel, then I don't know what's going on. I've been having issues with StreamYard lately. It might be the time of day I'm streaming. Not sure what it is. Anyway, we've got some new Carbonites. Let's talk about those real quick. One of the cases is the latest collaboration case for Carbonites, and that is the March Madness 2026. You'll see that this is in relation to the March Madness poll that just ended, being the TVC March Madness Year 6. So Carbonites teamed up with the SWTVC team and created this really, really awesome case. I love the custom background that he made for these as well. Now, if you want to pick up this case, if you're a vintage collection fan, you have to get this before March 31st. As you see here, it retires. So on April 1st, you won't be able to get this case anymore. If you want to support Carbonites and SWTVC, and I believe for this case, it's $2. Right here, yep, donate $2 of every purchase to the Starlight Children's Foundation, as opposed to the usual $1 of every case going to, a choice of your own from a list of charities. This one is in particular, and a little bit of a bigger donation. So if you want to show some charity support, the lineup is awesome here. We've got all of the previous winners from the last 5 March Madness brackets, being Bo-Katan, Chrysanthemum, Dooku, Papa Pong, Ping Pong Krell, Mara Jade, and then the last one is super cool. It is actually every side, every one of the 4 sides here has a different character from each of the SWTVC members' top 25. So you've got Dryden Voss, which was Lewis's number 1, Sweet Sweet Simaloo, which was John's. We got Ben Solo, which was of course Evan's, and then Rook. Not Rook from Rebels, Rook from the EU for Tyler. So really, really cool. I thought that was a really cool case. Vincent put a lot of thought into this, and I believe on the bottom of every single Carbonite is the unique logo that Evan made for each year, because every year for March Madness he does make a unique logo. So I wanted to show that one off, but I also wanted to show off the other 2 cases, because you guys know I'm a big Clone Wars guy. You guys know me. So we did have just the other day 2 new cases drop for the Carbonites line, inspired by the Clone Wars. Now, this one here, the first one is called Trading Places. This will be case number 5 in the line of cases inspired by the Clone Wars, and you can see it is all inspired by that Season 1 story arc. I think it was a 2-episode arc where Anakin loses R2 in a battle. R2 ends up getting captured by the scavenger Ga-Nact, the peak male physique, and then he, gets in touch with Grievous and Dooku to kind of ransom R2 off for R2's secrets, because Anakin never wiped R2's memory. So this is Anakin and Ahsoka in their really cool ponchos when they enter Ga-Nact's ship, and then of course we have Anakin's replacement droid, R3-S6, Goldie. And then Goldie ends up being evil, and him and R2 have a great battle at the end of the arc on the gas moon. I forget the name of the gas moon. Bathawi? Bathawi, is that it? I could be totally wrong. I know there's going to be someone in chat that knows. But yeah, so this is a super cool case. This one just went up for sale the other day. And then the other one is really cool as well. The D-Team. Number 76 in the line of cases featuring designs inspired by the Clone Wars. The D-Team from the infamous D-Squad arc. We've got 5 of the 6 members of D-Squad. I understand why R2 may not have been included on this one, but we have all the other members, including the recently added to Droid Factory QTKT. And then we have Whack right here. We've got Colonel Meeber Gascon, who is he 1-to-1 scale in this line? And then we have this one's really cool, and I love the deco on this one. Captain Gregor, who is in the semifinals for the Black Series, Order 66 March Madness. We'll take a look at that in a little bit here. Yeah, there's Captain Gregor right there with some awesome deco and detail there. So, yeah, I did just want to show off. This is the other case here. Obviously, Vincent always does such a great job putting these cases together. $14.99 each. $1 of each case goes to one of your choosing. As far as the charities go, I believe it's Rancho Obi-Wan, Starlight Foundation, and there's one that has to do with planting trees. So definitely check them out. Awesome stuff over at Carbonites. All these cases can be found if you just go to Carbonites. Just honestly Google Carbonites. Their company website will pop up here. I see they updated their logo. I'm going to have to change that. And then right down here, you can see on the featured products, you got the best opening ever, which is probably one of their best-selling cases. And then you got all the new ones here. So, but again, retires on March 31st for that SWTVC one. Make sure you check that out. So, with that aside, guys, let's now take a look at what we have to take a look at next. Our other partner here, who I want to give a shout out to, is of course Cube Squadron. Go over to Kickstarter and check out Cube Squadron. You can find the link to Cube Squadron at any of my Blitzcast episodes the last couple weeks. I started including the link to Cube Squadron on Kickstarter down there. Now, here is the deal with Cube Squadron. They're revealing the final cube when they hit 1,500 backers on Kickstarter here. So if you want to check out Cube Squadron, if you're a fan of specifically Micro Galaxy Squadron, the Jazzwares 1-inch scale vehicle line. Well, it's supposed to be 1-inch scale, but a lot of the vehicles are not in scale with each other. This is a really cool one. So these are dioramas that are inspired by Galaxy Far, Far Away, specifically the first movie, and it's got all kinds of awesome stuff. And I should probably scroll down so you can see all kinds of. This is my favorite one, the Imperial Hangar. You can set these up with lights. You can buy when this launches. You can either get the 3D print files and print them yourself, or you can buy the already printed 3D printed kits made by Cube Squadron's print farm, as you can see here. There's smaller cubes, there's bigger cubes. Obviously, this is the biggest size here. I believe this is 30 inches wide, 10 inches tall, 10 inches deep. I know Cassidy's in the chat. He'll probably correct me if I'm wrong here. But yeah, this is one that I wanted to just give a shout out to because Cassidy's worked really hard on this. He's been doing a lot of mini cubes. You can see he's got the hyperspace cubes over here. We got the trench run. We've got the hidden base. And I can see some of Cassidy's own collection over here. I peeped that. And he's got these spacers on the front. They're made to fit Calyx, you know. Very, very nice. And like, I love the designs here. Look at that awesome 3D render right there. This is an absolutely awesome stuff here. But yeah, this I would be interested to see if we could see what this looks like scaled up to 3 3/4 scale. I know that there's going to be a crazy 3 3/4 collector that tries that, and if you are able to do it with the Imperial hanger specifically, I told Cassidy, you know, because eventually I would like for him to do a what's it called? Good Lord, I can't think. Eventually, I would like for Cassidy to do a Venator hanger or a Camino hanger, and I would love to put my HasLab Republic gunships in that hanger. And if we could blow that, you know, blow that size up, that file up to 3 3/4 scale, that would be awesome. Yeah, Cassidy coming in. We don't have any mini cubes shown on the Kickstarter pre-launch page, but there are 14 mini cubes. Absolutely nuts, dude. You've been going way too hard in the paint, but yeah, super, super cool. And then they already hit 1,000 Kickstarter followers, and this one is revealed as the space field, the star field background, which is super, super cool. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave this a shout out. Please head over to Kickstarter and go support Cube Squadron. We are quickly approaching that 1,500 follower number, and when we hit 1,500, Kickstarter is going to allow Cassidy to reveal our final cube and get production underway. So go check them out. Go show them some support. It is free to follow them. Don't think that you have to pay. It's completely free to follow them. So with that, I almost closed the StreamYard tab. That would have been really, really bad. But yeah, let's catch up with chat here. Shout out Max Rebo Experience for 15 months as a Rancor Battalion channel member. Shout out to Raul, 7 months as a Rancor Battalion channel member. You guys are awesome. And again, you click that join button. You want to get all the reviews early? Check out all that awesome stuff and more awesome benefits on the Rancor Battalion channel membership, 99 cents a month. Let's see. This is about Carbonites here. Love Vincent's work. He put so much thought into each one. Yeah. All right, guys. So Cassidy and Vincent, I'll take my royalty check in my email. All right, blitztransmissions@gmail.com. That's where I'll take that. How Runner Base, How I Runner. What's up, dude? How we doing? But yeah, so let's go over to YouTube now, because we have had a little poll going on lately, haven't we? So I'm gonna head over to the Blitz Transmissions YouTube channel. We'll get caught up here on what's the haps right now on March Madness Order 66 edition. Yeah, and I'm taking double the price this time, dude. I'm doubling my rate. Next time I'm going to triple it. All right, we're over here on the Blitz Transmissions YouTube channel. Ooh, check out that little banner that I made last month. I'm so proud of that. It's funny, the little things when you make like stupid little art pieces for your page. It's just the little things that you appreciate. But check it out, guys. We have wrapped up the semifinals. Later today, I will be posting the bracket for the final matchup of the Black Series March Madness Order 66 Edition 2026. If you don't know what this is one of the 2 community polls that I run throughout the year. This one is, of course, for the Black Series line, obviously. There may be a similar event for TVC coming this summer, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Maybe working with some other channels on that one, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But this is basically, I love Clone Troopers, I love the Clone Wars, I love democracy, I love the Republic. And I thought it would be super cool. Last year, Brandon over at Hasbro kind of planted the seed on this one. He was like, hey Tommy, wouldn't it be super cool if we had a Clone Trooper only bracket? Because I was talking about it, I was on a live stream and I was talking about it, and Brandon was like, oh, maybe you should do that, and I did. And this year, obviously, I think it's a lot more polished than last year. But we just had our semifinals. We've got the Kashyyyk Trooper versus Captain Gregor, and we've got the Galactic Marine versus Commander Thorn. And I don't see Commander Thorn or Captain Gregor closing the gap. So I think that our final matchup is going to end up being the number 1 seed, the Kashyyyk Trooper, versus the number 2 seed, the Galactic Marine. Now, what's interesting, I'll be really interested to see how this plays out, because what we had last year was the same matchup. Last year, the finals were the Galactic Marine versus the Kashyyyk Trooper. The only difference between last year and this year is that the seeding has flopped on the characters. So last year, The Galactic Marine was seed number 1, and the Kashyyyk Trooper was seed number 2. That has flipped this year, whereas now the Kashyyyk Trooper is seed number 1. And especially since the Galactic Marine took it all and won last year's March Madness Order 66 edition, I'll be really interested to see if the Kashyyyk Trooper ends up pulling out and coming out on top on this one. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how this will play out. I'm fine with either one winning, but yeah, here's the can I not full screen this? That's stupid. You serious? Anyway, well, this is the last this is the last image that I have of the bracket, this little two-part image here. So we've got the, I keep hitting this tray for the SH Figure Arts Grievous. We got the Kashyyyk Trooper, Captain Gregor. Look at all these characters here. Such an awesome spread of characters. Maybe this information has already been shared with John Paul Hasbro this year. Maybe they're planning stuff to come using some of this info and some of this data from this community poll that you guys participate in. So I have a funny feeling that some clones from last year's March Madness that returned in this year's March Madness will start to show up in some reveals in the second half of 2026. So keep an eye out. If you're a Clone Trooper fan, you might be a happy camper. We might be playing some Clone Bingo here in 2026. So I'm excited. We'll see how that all shakes out. But speaking of March Madness brackets, there's another March Madness bracket that just concluded that I just wanted to talk about real quick. I wanted to give some love. Shout out to the boys over at SWTVC. They just had their 6th March Madness conclude. They had the GOAT, Ping Pong Krell, tried to take it all again and go up against Luthen Rail, who was the number 1 seed. I believe Krell was the number 6 seed for this year's March Madness. And we had the vote on Wednesday, March 25th, and guess who took it all home? Surprise, surprise, the number 1 seed, Luthen Rail, took it all home. So Luthen Rail is the winner, the first time winner of both Last Figure Standing. He won last year's Last Figure Standing, which I believe concluded in September. And then and then Luthen won March Madness. The interesting thing about this matchup, though, was that both Luthen and Krell have already won a community poll. So Krell won March Madness 2 years ago, and then Luthen won Last Figure Standing last year. So these guys already both had a community poll win under their belts. Ultimately, I think that's part of the reason that Luthen probably won by a pretty sizable margin here. I'll show it right here. We're on the SWTBC Instagram page. Make sure you follow them on Instagram, by the way. If you look here, you see he won by a pretty good margin here, too, as far as the number of votes. Maybe not by percentage, but the margin. And I think that part of that comes from the fact that Krell already won, so a lot of TVC fans, looking at comment sections and such, a lot of fans already feel like, they feel like he already, Hasbro already has the ear to the ground on Pong Krell. Granted, it's been 2 years and he still hasn't been made, so hopefully he shows up sooner rather than later. I could say the same about Black Series, though, but that's the deal on Mr. Ping Pong Krell. So, yeah, we had Luthen win. Would I buy Luthen? Not for Vintage Collection. I think the only way I would buy Luthen is if they made Clea. If they make Clea in her, shop assistant outfit, I would end up buying Luthen. But I don't really... The way that I collect TVC, it just doesn't fit my collection. But I would... If they made Clea, I would buy Clea. Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep up here. How hard is it for Hasbro to just repaint the Scout Trooper and Snow Trooper and give us a 41st and Galactic Marine? Well, funnily enough, it's actually a lot of new tooling involved in that. I would prefer they take the time and do them the right way. Someone needs a Build-A-Droid tournament. How I Runner. That's all you, buddy. That's all you. Gotta have Luthen. Yeah, I think Hasbro will end up making him now, especially now that he's won 2 back-to-back, both of the big TVC community polls. Past winners should be disqualified. I don't know that I agree because I think you want to keep the. I think it honestly says more if they win multiple times, right? Because if they win multiple polls, then yeah, if they win multiple polls, then it shows Hasbro there's even more demand than there would have been if they just won a single community poll. So I feel like there's more to it there. Um, let's see. I'd be happy with either two ranked clones winning and eventually announcements of their production made by Hasbro. Like I said, man, maybe some will show up sooner rather than later. At least I hope. And then right over here we've got if any character was a prime candidate for action figure in either scale, it's Ponkrell. The craziest thing to me is that the only Ponkrell merch we have is a Lego minifigure from like 2013. I believe he came with the Z95 Headhunter Lego set. And then he also got a Funko Pop made recently. He was in a Funko Pop 2-pack with Phase 2 Captain Rex. And that's it. That's all that's been made. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Hot Toys, Black Series, TVC, somebody, anybody, make Ping Pong Krell, make Papa Pong. $100 says you'll buy Luthen. Dude, I would buy. I just said I would buy him. I'm not taking that bet because if they make Clea, I'm buying Luthen. Which at that point I would say they should do a 2-pack, a fan channel 2-pack, and just do Luthen and Clea, her shop assistant Clea, and then this outfit or any outfit for Luthen. Honestly, as long as they don't do his like shopkeeper disguise, I'll be happy with it. Then again, though, he has some fantastic scenes in his disguise, so I don't know. This debut look, though, is great, though, too. I have his Black Series figure, and shout out to Bailey Wheatland, the Black Series sculptor, who we did interview back in January here on the channel. He came in clutch, and yeah, he showed us that he sculpted the head on that one. I'll buy you a Luthen. Listen, if you buy me Luthen, Hal Runner, then I'll accept it. All right, if you buy me Luthen, I'll accept it. At least the legs and boots on Kashyyyk Trooper and Galactic Marine are the same, or at least super. Yes, so basically from the waist down, the Galactic Marine and the Kashyyyk Trooper are the same tooling. So you would get some reuse out of that there. Tommy, take the $100 from Hal Runner and buy Luthen. That's thinking with your noodle, dude. That's thinking with your noodle. TVC always style set, but it's Luthen and Clea's shop with a few of the trinkets they sell. Luthen in mainline, Clea packed in, print money. I think TVC fans would be into that for the world building, actually. That would be cool. Like a little diorama you could fit on a bookshelf, and if they just pack in lots of pieces. Interesting. That would be interesting. Interesting. Well, on that note, I think we've covered all of the news updates that I kind of wanted to cover here on the Barracks. So let's get into the main topic of discussion here, which is, of course, some wish listing. So actually, there's one more thing I want to talk about here. Guys, we need to talk about something else. Let me pull up a tab. Put that on the tab. There's a couple reveals I wanted to talk about here as far as Star Wars goes. So let's go to Star Wars Vintage Collection. Guys, I've become a TVC channel. I can't. I've become one. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy. So we're going to check out over on Big Bad Toy Store, the place I order most of my action figures. Guys, what the hell was this? Vintage Collection got a reveal for the Ore and Geonosian Picador. What are we doing? Guys, I pre-ordered 4 of these. What are we doing? Because Johnny Mustache over at SWTVC let me know. Because, he's the mustache of knowledge. I asked him, I said, John, fill me in. How many Ores are in the Geonosis arena? John told me there is 1 with the chariot, and there are 3 that are just on the rider. So, taking a look here, we got this beautiful, fully articulated Ore, and there's that hilarious picture from Steve Evans on Instagram, too, of the Ore. He posed it so it's like sitting and waving with his mouth open. That was so silly to me. We got a beautiful card back for our Geonosian here. Oh, look at that box. And then I saw Twin Sons Collecting on Instagram. Did a cool retro-style box for this from 2002 as well. That was super cool. But man, my jaw dropped when I saw this. Was never expecting... Well, I was expecting it because they low-key spoiled it at... What was it? New York Toy Fair? I pre-ordered 5 your fake fan. Gotta have 1 chariot, 3 ride. No. I only keep clone troopers on card. I let the rest breathe. I have one of every, almost every TVC clone trooper. You can't see it, but it's like just off to the side here on the wall. I have one of every TVC clone trooper that's ever been done on card. Almost all of them. This set is super cool, man. I'm so floored that we get a new Geonosian, which... This is also a tease for, I'm assuming, a Geonosian multi-pack because there was, I believe it was the January Hasbro Star Wars fan stream where they teased, I think it was Chris Reif, teased the Geonosian Sonic Blaster. And it was in like a bright blue test sculpt. So hopefully we get a multi-pack instead of just a single card for the Geonosians. So... 2 variations of Geonosians for TVC. $24.99. Oh my god. So let me share my thoughts on this real quick, guys. So this is obviously $79.99, right? So that's the price on this. That's like a big, and that with TVC, I feel like that's always a talking point. Oh, it's so expensive. TVC, so expensive. Listen, buddy, I also would love if things were a little cheaper. I think we'd all love if things were a little cheaper. But that said, I honestly think I see more value in this than the ATRT because the ATRT was $67.99. Was it $68, I believe? And this is $80. So for $12 more, you're getting a fully articulated creature that you can swap out some parts for and make him either, 2 different versions, one with the chariot, one being the rider, a brand new figure that honestly is a lot more visually appealing in my opinion than the Imperial Remnant ATRT driver. You get this fully, sculpted brand new chariot. Can fit multiple figures inside. I don't know, man. I think for me, in the strings that, connect to make it so that the beast can draw the chariot around, it's got a flight stand. I feel like for me, I see a little more perceived value in this than the ATRT. So I don't understand if that's just my perceived value. So I don't know if anybody, need to know if the chariot opens up. You what? Saw a pic of the new Pogglenux's Sun Fac and the old Sun Fac. For a second there, I was like, what pic are you seeing that you saw Sun Fac? Here, let's take a look here. That's a little blurry. How I Runner. I think you're going to be disappointed, buddy. I don't think this opens up in the back. It looks like all one sculpt. And it looks like it's just cut down the middle, and that's how they sculpt. That's how they, molded it. I think you're going to be upset. Wallet burped, but pre-ordered too. Let's see. I love this set because I never knew the Picador had a little trumpet. Yeah, neither did I, to be honest with you. Yeah, I never noticed that. Character, gimmick, and meaning of this release is not even close to the ATRT. I listen, dude. I have more of an affinity for the ATRT because of how Hasbro can double dip with the tooling. That said, I think that this to me, it might be a more exciting release. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. But this was super cool. What a great reveal for Vintage Collection this month. And then Vintage Collection actually had another reveal as well. That being Mr. Baze Malbus. What the hell are we doing, Hasbro? In the middle of March Madness, you guys throw some madness in. You put the emphasis on the madness. Baze Malbus was on the bracket. Baze Malbus was in Last Figure Standing last year. And now we've got Baze Malbus, a deluxe figure, showing up in TVC. Do I think he should be a deluxe? I don't really see it personally, but I know people were asking Steve Evans on one of his, live streams that he frequently does on his YouTube channel. And you can go check that out. I believe it's called Mr. Stevie 18 is his handle. But yeah, Steve Evans kind of was saying same thing. I understand where you guys are coming from. Why is this deluxe? It doesn't look very deluxe. I feel like the new Mando and Grogu, at least that looks deluxe because you have a ton of accessories in with him in comparison to other TVC figures. But with this one, it's like, what is going on? So I think from what Steve said, it comes down to this character needed, in order to do this character justice with new sculpt, with paint, etc., etc., that deluxe was the way to go, and so he fills one of the deluxe slots for TVC for the year. I think part of the reason Hasbro decided to go deluxe on this as well was ultimately because they knew how bad the community wanted Mr. Malbus. So I think that, people knew that, I think the team knew that if they're going to do a deluxe and people are already complaining so much about the price, you may as well go with a character that most people aren't going to pass up on. And if you make the character so amazing that, people won't pass up on it, then who knows? The P-38 space modulator is hefty. His blaster reminds me of a Nerf gun. I think it was called the Vulcan. It was like it was like a minigun. When I was a kid, I'd always pretend I was a clone trooper, walk around like it was my Z6 rotary cannon in the house, drive my parents crazy as I would be screaming and yelling in my clone trooper helmet, running around the house. Hellrunner jumping back to the chariot with the Geonosian Picador. Thoughts on the incorrect saddle for the Picador rider? Steve said there's no plans to release the correct one. I figured. I saw people were like, oh, maybe they'll double dip. I didn't see that happening. To me, ultimately, it's like what, one little piece on the back of the saddle that's like, the most prominent part. I really don't see a need. I really don't see a need for me to be upset about it. I guess that's what it is. It's such a small thing. Yeah. Tops, dude, we're the same person. Great minds think alike, But all right, guys, I'm making sure I keep up with chat here. But yeah, this could be one of those deluxe because of paint apps. It could be, But I feel like this guy, I believe, is also completely new head to toe. Completely new figure. So who knows, to be honest with you. My other favorite thing about this guy, though, is clearly whoever did these promo shots thought that his taser was a walkie-talkie. That is not a walkie-talkie. We actually see him on Scarif use that taser to stun multiple stormtroopers on Scarif. So I think that's pretty funny. It clips onto the center of the back of his belt. Actually, the Black Series figure, which is a piece of garbage, a piece of poop, has. Let me make myself large here. I'll grab... I hate this figure. I have him. This is the one that came out in 2021, the photoreal update for him. Here he is, Mr. Malbus, in Black Series. I hate this figure because the way that they did the ankles, it makes it so that the hinge can't move forward at all. And because you can't move the hinge forward at all, he's so back heavy with that big backpack he's got on. It's just such a pain. But what I'm showing here is in the center of his back, he has that taser weapon. You can see it, and I'll pull that off real quick because it does detach from the figure. There's the taser accessory there. It's not painted, obviously. Just plugs into his back of his belt. It's a great little accessory, great little inclusion, even back in 2016 when they first sculpted that figure. Brother, I'm not buying bays. It doesn't fit my collection. But if they do a U-Wing HasLab this summer, which I keep hearing more and more rumors about, I'm going to get him. I'm going to go back and get the rest of the team. I'm going to get, hopefully Bodhi, which I feel like if they do a U-Wing, Bodhi will be the included figure or stretch goal for the figure. That's kind of my thought on that. Hey, collecting Star Wars. What's going on, dude? Even Bosk's Bounty thought it was a walkie-talkie. Fake Rogue One fan, dude. Sorry, Tim. You're a fake Rogue One fan. But yeah, super cool. I think that's great. And then Black Series had a few reveals this month as well for the Maul Shadow Lord series. So let me pull those up here. So we'll just talk about them very briefly because they happened earlier this month, and I kind of want to get into like the real topic, of our stream for this month's Blitz Barracks. But here we've got the new figures for Maul Shadow Lord for Black Series. Kind of funny. How do you TVC guys feel that Black Series was lagging behind TVC on these Maul Shadow Lord figures, huh? Okay. I want to address this. So I hear two conflicting rumors. I've been hearing that this year's reveal for a HasLab is going to be the U-Wing, but I've also heard just as much saying that it's going to be the AT-AT. Then I keep hearing, though, that 2027, the reveal for the HasLab will be an $850 Death Star. Death Star playset. Between $600 and $850. That's what I keep hearing. No idea. It's all speculation. No idea if any of it is real. But the last thing I saw about the Death Star was that it was going to be like the top half of the Death Star, like a sphere. And it's just this big spherical playset with all these different rooms. It's going to be massive. Who knows, though? Who knows? It's an actual crime. Maul got the cloak for Black Series. I know, dude. I love. That's what honestly got me to pre-order this figure, even though I already have the Clone Wars Season 7 version of Maul for Black Series. I got this because of the cloak. So, no, that's true, Raul. It's cheaper than Lego. Crazy that we live in a world where a Death Star that big is less. Could you imagine Lego Death Star was $1,000 but a 1/18th? You know what, though? TVC fans will still find a way to complain. Yeah, I need quad pay. I need Klarna for that. For if they do a Death Star like that. But yeah, Darth Maul looks absolutely awesome. Really excited about him. With the soft goods. Ultimately a reused figure, so not much to write home to on that. But I will get it. We've also got, this one is, for me, the standout of this wave. Rook Cast. Dude, particularly this promo shot. Oh my god, dude. This figure looks amazing. I love that she doesn't have a removable helmet. I think that just the very design of her helmet lends to a swappable head look. I love that Black Series is following suit with TVC on that. I also love all the new tooling here. I love that they slightly retooled the Westar. Is it Westar 35 or Westar 45? I always thought it was the Westar 45, but recently I saw a Star Wars prop maker called the Westar 35. But I love that they tooled them with little pegs now, so they can fit on her hips, on her skirt piece there. This figure looks fantastic. Can't wait. TVC, please give us this figure. And then we've got, of course, 11th Brother, once again. Black Series lagging behind. Vintage collection with the 11th Brother. The stitching on the cape, magnificent. The sculpting, magnificent. The printing of the Imperial cogs. Chef's kiss, dude. This is an amazing figure. I can't wait to get him in the collection. Just like I can't wait to get his TVC version, which should be hitting my pile of loot any day now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this one hits my pile of loot. Does Rook Cast not have holsters in the Clone Wars? I don't believe she does. I'm going to look her up now. Got me doing research live. No, I just looked it up from the Clone Wars Season 7. She does not have holsters in the Clone Wars either. So this is accurate to what we see as her figure. But, yeah, super cool. And then the last one, Devin Azara. Wow. I bought this one too. I pre-ordered this one mainly because, you know, she's a main character of this new series. I'm a sucker for Star Wars animation, and so far everything I've seen about this show just looks phenomenal. Every trailer, every piece of marketing, everything they do for this show looks like it's going to be amazing. So I gotta, you know, tip my hat to the marketing team on Maul Shadow Lord. You got me to buy a figure that I might have passed on otherwise. And she looks great too. Pretty basic design all said and done, but hopefully her character is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited for Devon as well. It's also cool to get another Twi'lek main character. I'll be interested to see how she is probably seduced to the dark side by Darth Maul. And I saw in a recent interview at a convention, Sam Witwer was talking about Maul Shadow Lord, because someone asked about like a redemption arc for Maul in this series, and you know, Sam was like, hell no. He said, like, this show is not good guys versus bad guys. This show is bad guys versus worse guys. So it's Maul versus the Empire. They don't want you to think either one of them is good guys, but obviously we're gonna root for Maul in this show because they've done a good job of that. You know, that's been a trend in recent media, kind of like the anti-hero, right? Except Maul's most definitely a villain. He's not an anti-hero, but same concept. Old Tommy wouldn't have to justify a TBS purchase. What happened to you, man? 3 letters. TVC, brother. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. But yeah, it's not good guys versus bad guys. Bad guys versus worse guys. I loved that from Mr. Witwer. But yeah, super cool stuff, man. Been really enjoying this. Really enjoying the releases. I feel like we've had just some banger lineups, and of course all the Mando and Grogu figures. Those look great. We got Lord Starkiller on the way, dude. Just endless cooking, endless cooking from the Star Wars team. They've been doing a great job. So I think at this point in time we should jump right into some other stuff here. Let's talk about the main topic, the main event, the main course, if you will. We've got our little appetizers here. We talked briefly about some reveals, you know. But let's talk about some wish lists here. So let's look at what we have and then look at what we want, right? So the first one I want to give a shout out to is Mr. Stevie here. Mr. Stevie did an awesome checklist for Black Series and TVC for Mando and Grogu. Hasbro, can we please start doing this either as like a little printed card in, you know, TVC and Black Series packaging? Maybe start putting something like this on the TVC card backs, a little fold up thing, or, you know, can we maybe replace something on the back of the Black Series boxes with this? But man, look at what we've got here. So with this, Steve Evans is teasing that, you know, there's more to come in the fall. So I'd imagine if this is coming out in the fall, it'll be revealed in the summertime. I'd imagine it'll be revealed after the movie drops in May. So I'd imagine maybe like a San Diego Comic-Con, or, you know, maybe just some random press release shortly after the movie debuts in theaters. But for TVC right now, we've got everybody except for Colonel Ward that Black Series got. No, they have the 4-pack for that as well. But I was talking about the Imperial Remnant Stormtroopers. But we got our Mando and Grogu. We got our Snowtrooper, which Black Series doesn't have. We've got our AT-AT driver and our AT-RT, which, come on, Black Series, what are we doing? We don't even have that either. Hey, what's going on, Diablo? Just 1 week until the new Maul series. Guys, I'm so excited. Yes, the Yahoo News, MySpace, CVS Pharmacy press release. That'll be what covers this right here. But yeah, so the checklist here, we have 5 more figures coming for TVC and mainline. So this doesn't even include exclusive items here. So that's definitely interesting to note. And then as far as the Black Series goes, we've got 5 mainline figures so far, and we're looking at 6 more mainline figures for Mando and Grogu. So we've got a lot coming up here. What do you think the appetite for a Mando Grogu ATRT is in the Black Series fandom? What's the price tolerance? Okay, those in the Blitz Transmissions Discord, we just had this conversation yesterday because and I don't really cover knockoffs and stuff. Vale's Toy Store on AliExpress just recently revealed 2 additional knockoff ATRTs, and both of them are designs based on the jungle camo ATRTs that we saw Hasbro do, the electronic walking ones. But oh, hey, what's up, Josh Isley Spaceport? Been loving the content on TikTok, by the way. Gonna catch the replay later on, but adding the checklists in box or on the back would be a cool throw. See? That's what I'm saying. But back to Top's point here. Those got revealed, and I remember the original 501st ATRT. If you got it with the ARF Trooper, it was going to run you like 130. I think, if that's right, in the States, it would run you 130. Like all shipped, all said and done. For some reason, dude, I don't know why, but Black Series fans have such a low tolerance for price. I mean, you have Black Series collectors that are already like saying, I'm almost, they've almost priced me out at $27.99, blah blah blah. If you want to check it out, I've done an entire video a couple months ago now on my channel called "Is the State of Star Wars: The Black Series? Is this line worth it at $28?" Right, it was right after the price hike came out for 25 to 28. I do believe with inflation, if you took $19.99 from 2013 and with inflation took it to today, you would get just shy of $28. It'd be 27 and some change. That alone, to me, looking at that, so essentially with inflation, it's the same price, and the quality is exponentially better in sculpt and articulation on Black Series now, and character selection is leagues better than it was. So I think that Black Series is 100% worth it. But at the same time, you've still got plenty of Black Series collectors, which, it's all subjective at the end of the day. What you think is fair pricing, what you think is, perceived value. It's all your own perception at the end of the day. But if there's one thing that I know for certain, it's that the TVC community does a lot better of a job of standing behind the line. I think that Black Series collectors tend to be a little bit overly critical. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot bit. I think Black Series collectors tend to be a lot more critical than TVC collectors do when it comes to price, when it comes to perceived value. Black Series collectors are the type of people who, and I am a Black Series collector. Hello, behind me, hundreds of figures behind me. Black Series collectors are the type of collectors that will say they want, more perceived value in the box. They'll get more perceived value, and then they'll complain about what they're getting and be like, well, okay, well, now I want this. Okay, you know what? I don't actually want this anymore. Now I want this other thing. And it's like this moving of the goalpost, and that just drives me nuts. So I don't know, man. I think that I mean, considering a big response to, I think the STAP and the Battle Droid is a perfect example. A couple years ago, for the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary, we had the STAP and the Battle Droid in the packaging. I believe it was were they still doing Hasbro PulseCon back then? Was it the last year they did it? Back in 2024. They did that pack, and it was $50. And at the time, a regular Black Series figure was $25. So the STAP was $25. There were so many collectors saying that, $50 was asking way too much, it's way too expensive, yada, yada, yada. And that was really where I was like, dude, we have completely lost the plot. We have completely lost sight of what... I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. So for that reason, I don't know that Hasbro could ever do an ATRT just because the price alone might drive people away from it, no matter how cool it is, you know. And I know people say they want it all the time, but people have been saying they wanted the STAP for years and years and years, and then it came out, and people said, "Oh, it's too expensive. $50, I'm out." So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Black Series fans are already having a little bit of a struggle with pricing at $27.99. I think that a lot of fans don't see the value in the line at $27.99. Maybe because they're told not to. Maybe because they don't see how far the line has come. Maybe because they don't understand the history of the line. There's so much that plays a part in, you know, how MSRP gets decided. I mean, then there are times too where, you know, it's the suits that are just totally, you know, just acting out of corporate greed and just price stuff like ARC Trooper 5s getting reissued at $34.99. Give me a break, dude. Come on, man. You guys only did that because you knew he was going for $90 on the aftermarket. Come on, man. But that's above the brand team's heads. That's like all the corporate suits and all that. And greed this is the greed they talk about in the Bible. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think any AT, not even just Mando Grogu, I don't think any ATRT has the ability to perform in Black Series. I'm gonna be so real, and that's part of the reason that I've transitioned so much to TVC. You know, I don't know. Hey guys, Shelf Life here. Finally found the new waves at Walmart yesterday. Didn't have Mando, but I got myself the AT-AT driver. Finally! I have mine right here. I still have to review my Black Series AT-AT driver. Got him at Walmart last week. Hey, by the way, check out our GWOG on the channel. I did a big collab GWOG with my fellow Syndicate members, as well as 1313 Podcast and Hybrid. For This is the Sunway, the release date for all this Mando Grogu stuff, staying on topic with Mando Grogu. But yeah, guys, ultimately, this ATRT, I think that's another thing that really drew me to TVC was, and that's why I collect both now. My big, massive TVC clone army and all my TVC figures now taking center of the display is because I can do things like army build in a much more cost-effective manner than Black Series. I can do things like get vehicles in a way that doesn't constrict my space as much. And I just hear a lot in the actual community. Like there's the people, I love it. People that don't collect TVC are always the ones who are like, "Oh, TVC too expensive. $20 for a 3 3/4 figure? Too expensive." But I think the TVC community does a much better job of standing behind the line and supporting the line and getting excited about it. I think that a lot of I mean, this is a very blanket statement, but I've been in the community long enough. I've been, you know, I pay a lot of attention to a lot of comment sections. I pay attention to a lot of channels over the course of the last 5 or so years, well, probably 7 years, when I really started collecting as an adult. I think Black Series fans, collectors, you know, content creators alike, get way too caught up in searching for what's wrong with a figure, and I think it starts to get away from like an enthusiasm for Star Wars. I think that the TVC community has a much more genuine passion and enthusiasm for the IP. You know, I'm not buying an action figure, and I think that's why I love the TVC community a lot. When I buy an action figure, I'm looking for character representation above all. And then secondary is articulation, and then tertiary is the things like the paint apps and the what kind of articulation? Oh, what's the tooling look like? What did they, did they get the pattern right on Zeb's head? For me overall it's a character selection thing because I'm a Star Wars fan first. And like I have in my hands the Patrol Trooper from 2018. Great, it's a great figure. Is it the newest and most up-to-date figure? No, it could totally use an update, and I could totally pick it apart and talk about, how I don't like this and I don't like that. But ultimately, does it? It all depends on what you value when you collect. If you're looking for the most amazing, perfect figure every single time, if you're looking for a perfect figure, collect Hot Toys. That's what I would say. But if you like world building, you get into TVC. If you like character selection, you get into Black Series. And there's ups and downs to every single line. And I think that the Black Series community at large has really strayed from, strayed pretty far from what the priorities are with the line. You know, for me, it's character selection. I want as many characters as you could possibly give me. I don't care if they come with 17 different blasters or, you know, different expressive hands or swoosh effects or alt heads. I really don't, man. I just want the character. I'll pose them up in a cool way as long as the articulation's good. You know, pose them up, put them on the shelf. And then every now and again, take them off the shelf, pose them up, take a couple pictures, send it to the Discord, put them back on the shelf. You know? But I don't know. That's where I'm at. But yeah, I will say it's the thing that really drew me to TVC, especially with the Republic Gunship HasLab. Even though there was a lot of a generational divide within the TVC community over the gunship, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I'm not sure at this price point a character with a bad sculpt is better than not having the character at all. I don't know if I'm understanding your comment correctly. A character with a bad sculpt is better than... Oh, okay. Well, that's the other part of it. You know, action figure lines, they have a tooling budget they have to follow every year, and obviously they're going to be giving more of that tooling budget to new media because they got to market those new characters, and a good way to market those new characters is saying these are all new. So... that's part of it as well. I'm old and I backed the lat. That thing is sweet. I can't wait. Give me that Republic gunship. Give it to me. But yeah, so as far as checklists go, super cool from Mr. Stevie. Super cool from Steve Evans. Let's check out another one here from our buddy, Great White North Empire. Can we just take a moment to admire? I know I talk about him all the time. We need to just take a moment to admire how amazing Great White North Empire is. And then, you know, a little bit of a segue, we just got done talking about the Republic gunship. We have a checklist made by Great White North Empire for the Battle of Geonosis program. Go follow Great White North Empire on Instagram, by the way. Hey, Titterful! What's up, dude? Yes, he does the best graphics. He did an awesome graphic for March Madness Order 66 edition, too. I'm very appreciative of him for that. So this is where we're at. Got mainline, Shaak Ti, Padme Amidala. I love that he added the little fan channel sticker, Poggle the Lesser, and now the Ore and Geonosian Picador. There was the Republic Gunship HasLab. This is coming out in the fall, so imagine this would ship... expect this to ship August or September, unless there's a delay. Expect this to ship August or September. Of course, we will get 2 Phase 1 clone pilots included, 1 carded, 1 loose. Excuse me, I can't... Good lord. And then we did get stretch goal number 1, being Coleman Trevor, who will be the hood ornament on one of my Republic gunships. Also, Yakface commented on one of Great White North Empire's wish lists for Geonosis recently, saying like 8 of the ones he wanted were coming. Super exciting. Oh, interesting. Cassidy jumping in. The Battle of Geonosis lineup gets me so excited. So glad it's getting some love. Me too, dude. But yeah, we've got the Geonosian Warrior, which has been teased. I love that he kind of put these, you know, up here. With that, I did mention it earlier, Chris Reif dropping the little Sonic Blaster there. And then the updated Phase 1 Clone Trooper. I am going to be buying 100 Phase 1. Was it Tops? Was I talking to you on Instagram recently and you asked me how many clones I was going to get, or was it Hal Runner? It was one of you guys I was DMing on Instagram, and you guys were like, how many Phase 1 clones are you going to get when they do the updated one? I was like, 100. They were like, oh, good one. I was like, no, it's not a joke. I'm going to buy 100 of them. You know, because if I'm going to have the 7 deadly lats, we got to have 100 clone troopers. I feel like that's a healthy number to fill those out. $1 million. 1 million beers, except it's not beers, it's clone troopers. And then I don't know if these are just space fillers or if these are, you know, this is it, these other 3 here. Judging by what we've gotten already, I could see that being the case, not including, you know, other stuff too. But Great White North Empire, you are awesome with these posters. I will say, generally, I feel... I'm just going to leave that there. Yikes. That's why you got to get them on sale, buddy. That's what I was doing with the 501st Troopers. Every time they would go on sale on Amazon, Tyler from SWTVC would shoot me a link. He'd be like, go get 5 more. I'd be like, oh, $10 clones. Go get 5 more.
200,000 units at the ready, with 1 million more well on the way.
We need Lama Su. Give me Lama Su in Black Series and TVC, guys. Let's see, who needs rent when you have an army? To defend the castle, obviously. But yeah, I can't wait to load those troopers up. I'm going to definitely take my gunships out, you know, we have a beach near where I live, so we'll go out to the peninsula, you know, go out in the swamp and do some photos out there. I'll do a photo shoot. You know, in down, we have a local park with like a creek. So I'll go down in the creek and do one there, like a wooded area. I feel like it'd be cool to do one in the fall or in the wintertime. It'd be cool to do one in the snow. All that will be super cool. But yeah, this is another thing. I don't think maybe I'll start doing this. I feel like Black Series doesn't really have like this kind of passion in making custom graphics like this. You know, Great White North Empire does do it for Black Series, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But like, this is stuff I see in TVC all the time, and I think it again speaks to a passion for the line and a passion for Star Wars that maybe lacks a little bit in Black Series. Yes, like Black Series sells better because 6 inches become the predominant action figure scale across the board, but I don't know. Titterful jumps in. The people getting this set need a battle droid that comes with a C-3PO head. Die, Republic dogs! I would love that one, dude. We have that figure in Black Series, and I loved when that... I know people complained a ton when that figure came out, and people were like, oh, I want the swappable head and make him a battle droid. Dude, what? Why would you buy that 2-pack and then make C-3PO head battle droid into a regular battle droid? Also, I have no idea how they would even tool that in a way that works. If the 4-pack is all Phase 1 white clones, it'll cost... Hey! I've been saying I want them to do it as a multi-pack. I really don't think we need another Phase 1 clone card back, because I know that... Have they done it 3 times now? Because this is the recent one, which is on the new clone body, but it has the removable helmet. But then I know that twice before that, they did the one on the old clone body, and didn't they issue him twice? And like they reissued him later, and the second time the way he was arranged in the bubble was different. I think that maybe was like 5 years ago, but the original release maybe was before that. I don't know. Hey Tommy, can I be the first to place hold on one of your Coleman Trebors? Perhaps. Shoot me a DM. I'm on Discord or Instagram. I'll let you know what my head count is, because I have one of them obviously is going to go to my giveaway pool for my ARC Troopers in the Patreon. I'm keeping one for myself to open. One is going to Renoaz. Shout out to Renoaz. I'm giving him one. And then I have several more. So, yeah, hit me up, I guess, if you want one. I think one is going to Hybrid as well, perhaps. We'll see. I don't know. If I got a definitive Phase 1 with a definitive helmet and packed with a Tamara head sculpt, I'd want it on a card back. That's the thing, too, though. We have so many clones with this new... If you bought any of the Andor Phase 2 clones or the recent Attack of the Clones single-carded one, you have the new Clone Trooper head on the new body, and you could probably just pop and swap, right? Right? Howlrunner, what are we saying what about? The Trebors? Or is that where... I don't know what we're saying what about. Alright, Trev. Shoot me a DM, and I'll put you down for one. But yeah, I know I have... Because I have 7 Coleman Trebors. So I don't know. We'll figure that out. I gotta do my math. Yeah. 7 deadly lats, dude. So 7 deadly Trebors. One's got to be the hood ornament on one of my one of my gunships, like Open Season. If anybody remembers that movie, like Open Season style. But yeah, this is a super cool poster. This kind of stuff just gets me so hyped for this line. And you know what? We'll jump to Black Series for a minute here, and we'll keep with the what are we looking at here? There we go. We'll keep with Great White North Empire. We'll take a look at Black Series. Check out this this is what I want to see in Andor or in good. I'm reading your comment. You screwed me up, band. This is what I want to see Black Series include and Hasbro include in like every Black Series box. You know, like give me the stuff that's currently on shelves. Give me the stuff that comes out during each quarter, maybe. Because look at this. Look how like this gets me so excited. You know, we got this recent mainline wave. Boom, get another mainline wave. I love how he's even marked them that way. You got fan channel wave. Boom, look at that. You got all the figures and awesome promo shots, many of which are from Shooting the Galaxy. Shout out to Shooting the Galaxy. And then he even splits it up between American and Canada. EB Games in Canada, Target in the US. We've got all kinds of stuff here. We've got another fan channel wave. We've got the Valentine's Day Ewok. We've got our deluxe figures, the exclusives. Dude, multi-packs. Look how cool this looks. This is so awesome. And then we got like the mini helmets, and we've got all this stuff that's yet to come. And it's like, this is the kind of stuff that gets you hyped as a collector. Looking at the spread. See? Star Wars and Brews. Oh, snap. Forgot about Starkiller. Dude. That's what I mean. That's the thing. That's the thing with this. Is like, not everybody is, you know, has such an ear to the ground, right? Howrunner with a question. Tommy, have you seen the new TVC Obi-Wan? How they designed the chest is different with an overlay. Looks like they're gearing up to retool those for more I've been saying that since Black Series predominantly moved, you know, to the overlay, you know, system. I think that's the way to go. It's a great way to reduce your tooling budget by just having base torsos and then just making thin, pliable plastic overlays to go over. And then you can it's so much less tooling needed because you don't have to retool shoulders and everything else every single time, right? Alpha Risk Vader, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Will the 2 to 4 packs of clones fill up a lat? 2 4-packs? So if you did 2 4-packs, you'd have 8 clones. You would have the 2 pilots, and then in the media, in the ball turrets on the sides, it's just regular Phase 1 clones. Some people think that... It's Phase 1 pilot. I can't think. Some people think it's Phase 1 pilots in the bubble turrets, but in the ball turrets on the gunships, it's Phase 1 clones. As far as like the Phase 1 look goes. It's one of those where you'd have 2 there, so you'd have 6 inside the gunship. I would say if you really wanted to fill the gunship and make it look really full, you should get 3 and do like a dozen Phase 1 clones. That would be a nice, healthfully full look for a gunship, considering 2 of them are going in the ball turrets. But if you decide not to display yours with the ball turrets because they are removable, then you can absolutely, you know, fill it with 8 clones and it'll look good. So totally up to you at the end of the day. But hey, 212 Hunter in the chat. Member for 15 months. Member of the ARC Trooper tier of the Patreon as well. So shout out to 212 Hunter. Thanks for joining in, man. Whoa! Check him out. He's going absolutely crazy. 212 Hunter gifting 50 whopping Blitz transmissions channel memberships. Guys, we got to welcome in 50 new members of the of the ARC Trooper of the Rancor Battalion channel membership. We've got 50 new recruits of the Rancor Battalion. Everybody give a shout out to 212 Hunter. Absolutely blowing up the chat with these gifted memberships. I gotta just let it roll through. That is nuts. That is nuts. All right, let's take a look here. Let's give a quick shout out to some of the people. I'm not going to read them all off. Of course, we got Titterful, Awful Risk Vader, Hellrunner Base, Rogue Sarge, Artyom, I'm not going to say that, Rogue Killer, Six Society, Jufru, JX, Randy Schultz, Plushy Wants Ramen, Rebel Scum 420, Star Wars Collective, Stuart Perry, Shelf Level Character, Tokyo Joey, Burnin' Burns, Tarek, Webhead Hank, Vex Dizzy, Tesco Falco, King Julius, Cash Harper, TVC Mackin, The Goat, Hero Collections, Commander Vero, Slider, Birds in Boxes, Johnny. We got Sky Hughes, Limitless Nerd, Jeff Russell. Shout out Jeff Russell. Apo, Flamingo Sauce, Pink Staff, Vigilante Bro, Nowvet, Stu John Jedi, The Goat, It's Rizzo, Bricks with Briggs, Eddie Rodriguez, Caymanzilla, Rookie, Darth Wizzy Wizard, Wizzy, what's going on? Andrew Cook, Zolt, I'm not going to say that one, I don't know how to say that. James Wade, Enchanted Star Wars Photography, Stargazer, and Cole. Shout out to all these people. Shelf, how did I not get one? Hunter, you got to double donate another 50. That, Hunter, thank you so much. That was awesome. Thanks for blowing up the chat with that. Really means a lot. Absolutely awesome. But, okay. Let's see. All right, guys, back to what we were talking about here. So, yeah, Black Series doing an absolutely bang-up job. And this, to me, just shows how great our character selection is, you know? I think we're doing a great job with character selection on Black Series. And then, similarly, honestly, I feel like this may have kicked off this whole trend of, like, people doing character posters. We have one for TVC from our good friend Mile High Ground, Evan, over at SWTVC. Check this out, guys. We've got, what the hell? Thank goodness a Delphi Ranger. Yeah, that dude's an asshole. Didn't want him to get one. But yeah, check this out, guys. We've got another poster here that Evan over at SWTVC made. I love this poster. And once again, showing a great character spread. What a healthy balance of original trilogy, prequel trilogy, expanded universe stuff, TV shows, all that stuff. We've got a couple vehicles, a large vehicle, a small vehicle. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. And this is only so far for 2026. How crazy is that? Evan did such a bang-up job with this poster. I told him, I was like, I was talking to him the other day, I can't stop looking at this poster. I look at it every few days. And I'm like, wow. And I bought most of this, guys. That's how cooked I am on TVC. I'm so done. And they said the line was going to end. Exactly, dude. Character selection is better than ever. People are joining the line every day. I mean, I know lots of people in my community that are, never collected TVC. Now they're starting to either dabble in TVC, they're starting to pick stuff. And again, Star Wars and Brews forgot about the Remnant Trooper 4-pack. That's what I mean. Like, we got to have visualizations of everything here. Raul is looking for a lat. If someone is selling a lat, please sell it to Raul for a decent price. But it literally, I bought the entire top row except for Vader. I bought the entire second row except for IG-11. I got, as far as the third row goes, the only ones I got here were Mando, the Trooper 4-pack, and Obi-Wan in the 212th, and then I got both the vehicles down at the bottom. Does it make me a TVC collector? Am I in? Am I cool now? That would be cool. I would love to see someone do a poster like that for Carbonites. Yeah, Hellrunner, it just doesn't fit. I'm a little more picky with TVC than I am with Black Series, so IG-11 just doesn't fit what I collect. Aside from that, I would totally buy them if I was like more into the line. But I'm just not that into the line. I like, for example, like, I don't see a need for me to buy Emperor's Wrath Vader. I know he sold well though. I know even though he's single packed in a case, I haven't seen him anywhere. Yes, best in the line, best the line's been in years. And you could feel the That's what I mean, dude. And like that's a big thing with TVC that I think is working right now. Is it for me and many others? It started with the gunship. I've said it time and time again on the channel that the gunship gave people like me who don't. I don't like. I'm gonna be real. I don't care if black I wouldn't buy it in Black Series or TVC if they did Bespin Wingard, if they did Ugnaught, if they did Sizvit. Like that's just not for me. That's not to say that it shouldn't be made. That's not to say that it shouldn't be a priority in the line. I just think that there should be what we see on this poster, a healthy balance between legacy media, new media, and movies and shows. I think that if we have a balance like this going forward, this is how we do what Steve Evans was saying we should do, grow the line. This is how you grow the line. A lot of these releases on this list turn heads. There's people that want new media. Get your IG-11. You get these Maul Shadow Lord figures. You get these Mando and Grogu figures. That's a way to turn heads, get new people excited about new media into the line. Legacy media. Got OT, this Cantina 4-pack. I know some people had gripes about the specific choices made, but it's an amazing 4-pack. We get some never-before-made characters, some much-needed updates to characters. General Veers is a great one. Snowtrooper Commander, Greedo, Emperor's Wrath Vader. That's a solid bunch of OT. We've got prequel trilogy in here with Padme, Shakti. We got, again, new media too with The Stranger. Like this is, you know what I mean? Perfect amount of OT releases on this list in my opinion. Yeah. Dr. Jones, what's up, dude? Hey, appreciate you for dropping in. Bruh. All right, let me see. How long was I cut out there for? Dude, come on, man. I told you, did I not warn you guys at the beginning of the stream that there was going to be a little bit of a lag? Well, the last thing I tried to say, from what I know, was Dr. Jones jumped in and said, sorry, I'm late. But shout out Dr. Jones. Thanks for joining in on the stream. 27 seconds I was gone. Max Rebo, you're going to be in charge of letting me know if I'm out. If I'm out, somebody DM me as soon as I'm out on Discord, and I'll see it pop up on my phone. But yeah, this is such a healthy mix. But yeah, perfect amount of OT releases this year. New media is the way. And we got Tops in here. Yes, honestly, you and your community joining in on the Gunship HasLab campaign really made that campaign, even with the insane amounts of negativity, one of the most fun HasLabs ever. And that makes me so happy to hear. That's the kind of stuff I love to hear. That's the kind of stuff that gets me hyped. But yeah, well, let's keep a move on here. So, talking about character selection, another thing that I wanted to talk about was actually a post from my buddy Dusty Trooper. He's big on TikTok too, but I wanted to show off his Instagram page here. Check this out, guys. This is a reel that he took of the Walmart section of his local Walmart. Now, I know that not all Walshart stores look like this, but just taking a look at this reel here, and by the way, go follow Dusty Trooper on Instagram and TikTok. Look at this great mix of stock on the shelves. If you're a collector and you see this is something that's going to draw you into either of these lines. You've got a good mix of new media, legacy media. You've got even Micro Galaxy Squadron too. These multi-packs are great. These little battle packs they're doing. The 2 Imperial shuttles. The Razor Crest. We've got so much stuff here that just works, right? And he's got some pickups here as well. And look what he picked up. Dusty Trooper, by the way, is very much a Black Series collector, and this is a testament to the fact that TVC has been cooking lately, because guess what he picked up? Bada bing, bada boom. The TVC 2-pack. And this is a guy that troop builds for Black Series. He's not a TVC collector in any way, shape, or form. And he picked up that 2-pack. So that's what I mean. This is how you grow TVC. By having a selection like this. Have this kind of selection for both lines and give people an opportunity to buy from both, right? Draw people in. TD3 Trooper, what's going on? Always love seeing you in the Syndicate Discord. But, yeah. Look at that. What state is that Walmart in? Texas? I could be totally wrong. Maybe Texas? Yeah. But, yeah, this is how, I will say, this was how my Walmart looked when they first stocked the Mando Grogu stuff. Of course, they didn't have the TVC wave, but, man, what a great spread of characters. And you can see a couple older waves there, too, which, that's great, too. A good mix of characters. We're adding to that mix of characters with some of those characters that are on the shelf. And it's not just, for Black Series, Fifth Brother and Ewok Village Leia that have been sitting there for 5 years, right? Live in Illinois, nothing. Hey, TD3 Trooper, thanks for being a Rancor Battalion channel member for a whopping 9 months. But, yeah, guys, super, super cool. Absolutely, I just want to give that some love and just show a testament to how how good distribution of character selection can really change things here. So, we're going to wrap up the stream with some wish listing here. Now that we've talked about, I kind of wanted to just take a moment and look at what we've got, what's been coming out, look at some of the posters, maybe like what's to come, some teases, and now let's take a look at some wish lists. So once again, the GOAT, Great White North Empire, has for us this awesome, awesome graphic. What do we still need for the Battle of Geonosis? Now, let me apply this logic to both Black Series and the Vintage Collection, right? Because Black Series and TVC, they kind of go hand in hand. Usually there's synergy between the two lines. I mean, in the last couple of years, TVC got Deluxe Jango, Black Series got a Jango. There's plenty of other characters I could say the same about. Balin Skull, Shin Hati, the new Darth Maul. We got Imperial Armored Commando, Padme, Shakti. Well, not Padme. Shakti. I'm looking at my collection here. We got Crosshair. He recently got reissued for Black Series. He got an issue for Vintage Collection, right? So there tends to be a lot of times a little bit of synergy between the two. So let's kind of go in here. So what we need for Battle of Geonosis. First two here, Anakin, well, I guess first three. Scratch that. Almost the entire top row. Both Vintage Collection and Black Series desperately need a new Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, and Mace Windu. Padme, we definitely need the post-Nexu scratch look for her, right? Windu is probably one of the most frustrating, sculpts that they keep reusing to me. I can't stand that they keep using the Windu sculpt, like on the new Plo Koon, the base body for that 2-pack with the new Commander Wolf for Black Series. The fact that they are doing him on that Mace Windu body with those ugly pinned double jointed knees, that's me throwing up as soon as I open the figure. I open the figure, it's the big 2026. I open up a figure and I see pinned double joint. So excited I get to get rid of this old season 1 Mando. Oh, but the weathering, the paint apps. All right, I gotta crash out here for a second, guys. If you think that pinned double-jointed knees are better than the sleek single-jointed knees in Black Series in the big 2026, you're banned. You're simply banned. I got the new, there he is, right there, front and center. The Pagadin Mando from Target, right? I looked at this and I held them side by side and I saw people like, oh, I think that the old one's better because the paint apps, the weathering, look. I open this figure up, you know what I see? I see, oh yeah, let me just bend his knees a little bit here. Let me just, there's me just gagging and dry heaving and throwing up over this gappy, disgusting, double-jointed knee. Absolutely foul. Look at this helmet, because this is when they glued the helmets to the heads, the little sculpted heads underneath. Look at that, just hugging his helmet. Who does he think he is? Rook Cast? Throw up. Oh, and you know what? They didn't do the shoulders on an O-ring system. So guess what happened to mine? As soon as I opened it, popped off. Look at that. It's gone. Shoulder armor. Oh, but you can pop it back into place. Oh, you just glue it. Yeah, but if I want to raise the shoulder up, guess what? Pops right off. Poop. Garbage. After I just got done earlier in the stream, oh, no, I just collect for character selection. This guy's fine. But guess what, though? This guy came out in 2018, so I give it a pass. That's the difference. We're in the big 2026. If you're giving me figures with the pinned double jointed knees in the big 2026, I'm gonna point it out 10 times out of 10, every single time. Speaking of throwing up, look at this dumb egghead. Come on, bro. We need to fix the Grand Inquisitor. I don't know what happened to him. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. That was me crashing out at stupid pin double jointed knees. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Anyway, all that to say that the Black Series desperately needs to update. I think the worst out of these is Anakin. The Black Series Padawan Anakin, you can't get like any poses with him. He does not have butterfly joints. The elbows can barely bend to 90 degrees. That, to me, absolutely unacceptable for a Jedi figure. Absolutely unacceptable. We absolutely 1,000,000% need a new Anakin. I think the likeness could be updated. Everything about that Anakin could be updated. I know the figure came out in 2019, right? Wasn't that the last wave of Redbox? Right. Anakin is basically tooled. Just needs an updated head and arms. And let's give him 2 lightsabers, the blue and the green. As for Obi-Wan, same thing. I need him to get rid of the double jointed knees. It's the big 2026. Our New Year's resolution should be no more double jointed knees. Let's get rid of them. Let's replace them with the sleek single jointed look, and hopefully then we can do the same for Mace Windu, and then maybe we can be allowed to reuse the new Mace Windu as many times as Black Series loves to reuse the old Mace Windu. Go find those steel sculpts. Someone that works at Hasbro, go find the steel molds for the pinned double jointed knees and melt them down and create sleek single jointed knees with them, for the sake of consistency and for the sake of my sanity as a Black Series collector. Vintage Collection doesn't have this problem. Another reason why I like Vintage Collection. All right, moving on. Yoda. I predict, I am over my crystal ball, Vintage Collection will receive a new Yoda this year. We will get one revealed this year. As for Black Series, it's about time we single pack the one from the Clones of the Republic 2-pack. That would be awesome. Easy. Done. Kit Fisto. We need Kit Fisto desperately in the Vintage Collection, as with many of these other Jedi. Luminara, Saesee Tiin, Aegon Kolar, Plo Koon, Aayla Secura, Ki-Adi Mundi, Barriss Offee. Give me all those Jedi. Black Series has a lot of these now, and a lot of them are really good. Ki-Adi Mundi, Barriss Offee. Those are all good. Luminara's great. Pablo Jill. I saw someone mention Pablo Jill. I was having a meltdown earlier. Repack Pablo Jill. Don't repack him. Are you drunk? Make him new. Around the survivors, a perimeter create. That's what we need, dude. Need Frank Oz coming down, yelling at everybody. I'd love a background Jedi 4-pack for TVC. You think Black Series would ever do? I would like to see, particularly, Pablo Jill and Boltar Swan. Give me Pablo Jill and Boltar Swan, and that'll give me my fix, for that kind of a release. Let's see. Okay, but this is my thing, Tops, is I will say, I think that Aegon Kolar and Saesee Tiin were not good choices for stretch goals. That is one of my biggest critiques of the Republic Gunship HasLab is I think that the stretch goals were weak. They were weak sauce, dude. I mean, Coleman Trevor dies before he even got to, witness the beauty of a Republic. You know what? I'm gonna headcanon this. I know that he splats on the ground. Maybe he's like in his dying breath. He looks up at the sky and he sees the shadow of a Republic gunship, and he's like, "I've witnessed peak," and then he dies. I'll do that, right? Maybe Sev goes and finds him and gets him out, and they leave together, and that's why we see Sev in the Clone Wars, right? All right, we're getting a little silly over here, but hey, Jayhawk Jedi, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Nothing on that graphic you have on the screen makes me more excited to get for Black Series than Nute Gunray. Dated and Anakin and Obi-Wan are redos just don't excite me. New sculpts excite me. I understand that. And like, Nute Gunray is one. He shows up in all 3 prequel movies. He has a different outfit in every single one. I think that, I don't know. I think that would be cool to get Nute Gunray. Nute Gunray, am I drunk? I think he made Black Series Most Wanted, did he not? Did he not make Black Series Most Wanted? I don't even know my own fan polls. I know he did. I'm stupid. Hang on. Yes, Nute Gunray was number 9 on the overall Black Series Most Wanted for 2026. So that I will say, maybe he'll be coming sooner than later. It'll be his Phantom Menace look, not his Attack of the Clones look. I personally like his Attack of the Clones look most, because that's the one that shows up in the Clone Wars. But I was reached out to by a certain someone from a certain brand team at a certain company and asked to share some data from March Madness Order 66 edition as well as Black Series Most Wanted, as there may be some meetings coming up soon between a couple companies that, make these figures. So maybe in the next couple years, maybe in the next 12 to 24 months, we'll start to see some characters from March Madness Order 66 edition and Black Series Most Wanted start popping up in the fray for Black Series. I'm not saying it would be because of the fan poll. I'm saying it would be because of the fan poll. Just saying. Blockies. Oh my god. I don't get the hype behind Blockies. I'm gonna be real. It's not for me. Did I lag? Am I here? My screen lagged. My screen lagged. I think I'm good. Poggle the Lesser. That's another one, though. Now that he's in TVC, I feel like the odds of him coming to Black Series are automatically higher, right? That's kind of my rule of thumb, right? But, Kid Boba would be sick, too. I would love to see... I don't know how you guys would feel. Black Series collectors, you might get annoyed. But this is a wish list for me. Shout out James. No lag. Thank you. I would like to see a 2-pack, like a $55 2-pack. Give me Kid Boba, and then give me Jango Fett again, but give me basically deluxe Jango Fett. So give me him with his poncho, a swappable head with his headgear, his grappling hook, his little gauntlet blades that come out when he stops himself from falling off the platform on Kamino. Give me his flamethrower effect. Give me jetpack effects. And make that like a $55 2-pack priced set. And you don't even really have to include anything with Kid Boba. Just give me Kid Boba. I don't know. How would you guys feel about that for a 2-pack? I feel like that would be a great 2-pack that I'd be all over. And then as far as, we get into stuff here. Oh, dude. I would lose my little noggin if we got this kind of stuff. As far as wish lists go, man, I know we covered Mando and Grogu wish lists last month with some friends. But dude, I would kill for this whole screen, not just in TVC, but Black Series as well. I feel like in Black Series, we already have the Geonosis battle droids, and we already technically have them single-carded in TVC, but I think a multi-pack would be a smart move. And please, for the love of God, can we give the battle droids a wrist swivel? Some sort of swivel somewhere in the forearm so they can actually hold the blaster in a two-handed pose? I don't even care if they have to come pre-posed so that the left arm is just, forever facing out so that I can actually have them hold the blaster in two hands. I refuse to buy TVC battle droid B1s for that reason. Like, to me, it looks so dumb. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Super battle droids?
The B2 Super Battle Droid.
I have a feeling that's coming. TVC Droideka would be amazing. It'd be amazing. I would love to see it. The Black Series knocked the Droideka out of the park. Preach the absolute fury I feel when seeing TV. Dude, it's like if I saw him, I literally would have to take an X-Acto knife and start chopping the arms and then Gorilla Gluing the arms so that they're the proper way so I could get them to sit correctly. That's what I would do. That's the only thing. I would drive myself crazy. Hey, Mick Beard, what's going on? Need all new B1s. Also really want the Dwarf Spider Droid. Ooh, yes, dude. Dwarf Spider Droid would be sick. Now, the Reek, the Acklay, and the Nexu. Let me pose a question to you guys. Now, honestly, I haven't added to this series in a long time. But I've done a couple on my channel now. I should really do another one soon. I've done HasLab pitches on my channel, and one of the ones I did for Black Series was the Geonosis Arena Beasts, the Acklay, the Reek, and the Nexu. As time has gone on, I've had conversations with people, and it's been thrown around, what if for Black Series the Arena Beasts were a made-to-order, possibly $200 to $250 made-to-order set? And I feel like realistically they would be a lot more than $250, but $250 was the number that was thrown at me before. If they could achieve $200 or $250, I think that'd be amazing. But I think that, a little bit higher than that. Oh, boom. Jayhawk coming in. We had this conversation a little earlier in the stream, and it was more geared towards the ATRT. Would the Black Series collectors on here spring for a Black Series version of the creature, of the Ore and the Chariot with the Geonosian Picador? Well, Jayhawk, I would as well. This is something I brought up earlier. Maybe if Vale's Toy Store did it, then everybody would jump all over it. But I feel like if Hasbro does it, people are just going to get sticker shock, because it's the Ore is a pretty big creature. It's not quite as big as the Dewback, but it's still pretty big. Maybe it's probably similar in length to the speeder bikes that we have in Black Series. Maybe similar in height to the Dewback. I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like Black Series collectors just get so caught up on the sticker. They really get sticker shock a lot. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The Acklay is a great... I had the original Acklay for when I was a kid, and he had the gooey guts that came out of the little panel in his belly. He had those gooey guts. I always thought that was funny. HoloNet, what's up, dude? $250 for all three? Yes, that was what came up in conversation. This would have been last summer, which I also believe was before the current, the big price change to what we have now. But early last summer, it was brought up to me doing all three as a made to order for $200 or $250 for all three Geonosis Arena Beasts in Black Series. I think honestly that is I know a lot of people want like Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, and that's been brought up for like years now. But I personally would want the Arena Beasts more. I think that they just make for a more exciting release than just a single vehicle. And what could you really do with it? A vehicle with a flight stand? Opposable flight stand, maybe some like buzz droids on it or some, little flight effects. I don't know. I feel like this is like three fully articulated creatures. Oh, Jayhawk agreeing with the thing I was saying earlier in the stream. I know Black Series collectors don't like to pay more than $30 for anything. It annoys me. Not going to lie. I mean, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. You know, that's the thing too. It's like the I talked about it earlier, I'll bring up the point again. The Black Series has done such a good job of, if you go back to 2013 using an inflation calculator, 1999 and 2013 when the line launched is $27 and some odd cents to today's money. So 27.99 is literally just Black Series adjusting for inflation, right? And the quality of the figure in sculpt and articulation is massively better than it was, across the board than it was back in 2013. So that's kind of my pushback to people that say those kind of things. That $30 I'm out. If I see that 3, I'm out. Really, dude? Like that? Okay, let me say that again. Goes back to TVC tends to have a much, TVC has a much more passionate collector base, in my opinion, because I feel like the price conversation just comes up so much less in the TVC. And I'll sit here and I'll say it. Obviously, I wish that, the figures weren't as expensive as they were. I think everybody does. I don't know anybody that's jumping for joy at, these prices. But at the same time, it's like I got to look at what I'm getting for the price. And I'm going to be honest, like for me, I'd rather have the figure itself be better than you give me extra accessories. Guess what? Those accessories are going to sit in a bin and sit in a bag in the closet forever. Let's be real. You can give as many accessories as you want, but I'm only going to pose so many of them. And how often am I really going to go back and swap parts out? I mean, Hot Toys, for example. I get Hot Toys. I pick what loadout I want with them, and perceived value. I pick what loadout I want with them, and then they go on the shelf, and I rarely ever will bother to go dig around for the box and get, yeah. That's okay. That's another part of it too. A lot of guys, I'm the same as Jayhawk in this regard. I'm only a Star Wars collector. I'm not a Star Wars and everything else. Like occasionally I'll pick up something else. Like I just did get the holy cow, I can't talk. The Mezco Samurai Jack. I did recently get that in my pile of loot. So that is a figure that I'm super excited for. But that's like a once in a blue moon. Because I watched Samurai Jack as a kid. Absolutely adore Samurai Jack. And of course it's Genndy Tartakovsky. Same guy that made the 03 Clone Wars. So that's, things that I have really big sentimental value for. Like I did also just buy the recent basically A-lister Marvel Legends Iron Man from the original Iron Man movie in the 2000s. Because that was my Iron Man growing up. I was like, oh, cool. Little $27 figure. Put him on the little dresser. Boom. Iron Man. I was Iron Man for Halloween one year as a kid. I loved Iron Man. Hey, Supreme Leader Droid. What's up? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my my overall on this, I think that would be a great made to order. And I think just in general, the pricing of things, like, okay, for example, like another example I'll give, when I do little shorts when there's a new reveal, and I did the short for the Ore and Picador, and I had multiple comments on my YouTube short. $80? No way! I'm like, okay, I saw a comment, what price do you think it should be? Well, 50 or 60. Okay, but based on what? Like, why 50 or 60 specifically? What knowledge do you have of the process of making action figures, aside from just like your personal feelings wishing it was cheaper? Why specifically this number that you pulled out of thin air and decided that it should be this price instead? That's my question that I pose. I pose that to people a lot, and I don't think I've ever gotten a legitimate response from somebody ever. When people pluck these numbers out of thin air. There's so much that goes into this. Licensing costs in the case of Star Wars, which is one of the most expensive licenses to hold. Tooling costs. Star Wars requires a lot more tooling. Star Wars requires a lot more new tooling than a line like Marvel Legends, Vibes. I'll take that answer. I see Mr. Star Wars coming in as well. Black Series collectors paying 200 plus for customs. They didn't see exactly, and that's what I said about Veils earlier. You know, to Jayhawk's point, Veils will make an ATRT $130 shipped. Oh, I'll get it all got by the ATRT, and then, but if Hasbro were to make one and it was 115, 120, no way! What? That's ridiculous. That's way too expensive. I was like, okay, man, like, I don't understand why it's different parameters for the knockoff company is allowed to overcharge when, you know, the official product charges less and you're like, you know, complaining about the price. But whatever. It's just my opinion. It's just Tommy's opinion, and nobody likes my stupid opinion anyway. Going back to the wish list, Black Series already has B13PO. Let's get that in TVC. Get him with the swappable battle droid to go with him. Because I want the battle droid with the C3PO body. I do want that as well. And then we've got the Forward Command Center. That would be sick. The Geonosian Pillars. So when I did my HasLab pitch for Black Series, that was my my want as like an inclusion with that, getting the 3 pillars. And I think I included 3 figures at the base value as well before I did like stretch goals and stuff. But yeah, I feel like that would be a good one. The pillars, and I thought a good way to kind of break up the tooling on them would be to do what they've done before, where TVC 3 3/4 has done, you know, smaller pillars, but they made them break apart and crumble, like when the Reek runs into the one pillar and it crumbles, that kind of thing. Let's see. Shout out Raul. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to poo-poo on anybody here if you disagree with me. Would really like a Forward Command Center. Me too, dude. Forward Command Center would be sick. And then, of course, now the Phase 1 Clone Commander, a.k.a. Commander Pons, I would like to see them do a 4-pack and just knock out all of the 4 clone ranks like they've done before. Was it Saga Collection last time they did all 4 Clone Trooper ranks? The Sergeant, Lieutenant, Captain, Commander? The green, blue, red, and yellow? I think that'd be super easy. We literally have the tooling for it. Let's just knock them all out in a 4-pack and call it a day. Battle of Geonosis. Give me 2 troop builder packs for the Republic. Give me the ranks. Give me the troopers, you know? But we'll see. I hope they end up doing it instead of doing what Black Series did and just taking years and years and years to do all 4 of them, you know? Jayhawk jumping in. Can we get a full-on dirty Attack of the Clones 3PO for Black Series while we are talking 3POs? Can't believe we haven't gotten that repaint yet. Granted, be quite a bit of paint. Might be deluxe. Who knows, dude? I mean, the wash they did. Let me grab him. He's off camera here. I have him on the shelf. This review is coming out tomorrow. Let's see. I would prefer. Let's take a look. Make myself big here. So I just reviewed. It's up right now if you're a Rancor Battalion channel member or ARC Trooper in the Patreon. The Remnant Stormtrooper from Mando and Grogu. I don't know how well my camera's going to pick it up because I'm still trying to figure out how my webcam focuses or not. But this guy has a great wash on him. Hopefully you guys can see that. Great wash that's applied to the figure. And this is a standard figure. This is on the standard mainline. This one's a Target exclusive. I don't know. Maybe you didn't recognize him because of the brown arm. But the regular mainline one has great weathering too. So maybe if we get that kind of wash on, you know, other figures as well, we could get some cool stuff. But let's see. Go back to where we were. Bada bing, bada boom. I saw someone else had a question. Was it Tops? Tommy, would you want the clone officers carded? You know, my preference, honestly, let's do the clone officers carded and then do the Phase 1 grunt in an army builder pack not carded. Because I feel like people would do less of the officers anyway. And correct me if I'm wrong, have they not done all of the officers on card yet for TVC? I could be totally wrong, but I don't know that they've done the captain or the sergeant. I know they've done the lieutenant. Huh. Interesting. Hey, Commander Cook. What's up, Cookie? Thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Dinero. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, they have not done all the officers on card yet. That's what I thought. Yeah. Let's see. Wow, this is a great deal. Geonosis playset with the Reek for $100 2 years ago. That's awesome, dude. What a steal. Hey, TVC Mackin, welcome to the chat. We have no officers on the new. I know, dude. We got especially the commander. I think the commander's the most important one because he's the one that shows up in the movie. I believe the captain does too. And then the sergeant and the lieutenant show up just like promotional images and stuff. The Attack of the Clones 3PO has a ton of different colors when you really look at him. I would, I think they could do him deluxe if they did him like his old 3 3/4 figure where he had the removable panels. And then they could double dip and do naked 3PO from Phantom Menace. That would be cool and get like a 2-for-1. I'd be down for that. But ultimately, I think they could get away with doing different colors of plastic and then applying the wash over the whole thing for like each of the pieces. I think they could get away with that. And it's a good way to like minimize the paint apps because it's just the wash is all one paint app, Let's see. If the officers are a carded multi-pack, people are more likely to buy multiples. Probably, I would say so. Let me change the layout again. I'm trying to do this a little different layout here. And then, of course, Great White North Empire showing this off again. Thank you, Great White North Empire. Now, there's one more post I want to show. This guy's in the chat right now. Tops .375. You blew me away with this one. Dude, the anti-batch? I know, new media, Bad Batch. You're a bad fan if you don't like Bad Batch. Top says, my army builder in me would want lots of sergeants, few lieutenants, fewer captains, only a couple commanders. Hence why I'd want them carded individually, not in a multi-pack, but that's just me. Interesting. Meanwhile, we got Stu John. Hello. Better late than never. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. And welcome to the Rancor Battalion. As of today, shout out to 212 Hunter. Gave out 50 Blitz Transmissions Rancor Battalion channel memberships. Now, wish listing. Here's another one that I really, really, really want in TVC and Black Series. The first thing is this. We got to get the Bad Batch finished in TVC. People go, it's beating a dead horse that they're still on the March Madness for TVC. What? Yeah, they need made. So, we want to show that over time, there's definitely still a demand for them. And the fact that all three of them made it to the very end, I mean, they made it to the Elite Eight, that's huge. Again, so we got Hasbro, you got to jump on it. Got to start clearing up these slots on these here. Nuts. But, yeah, I think this... So once we get the Season 1 Bad Batch crew... So for Black Series, I would say that this is, more geared towards a Black Series post. But I think in addition to that, we need these in TVC as well. These guys, the Anti-Batch, I love the name. The Anti-Batch... They show up, Hal Runner, they show up in the last episode of Season 3 of the Bad Batch. So, CX1 and CX2 are the same design, if not very, very similar. I think CX2 is slightly different than CX1. These are essentially brainwashed clones that have been experimented on by Dr. Hemlock, and they all have different, abilities, and essentially these ones are, like we said, the Anti-Batch. These are the characters that were, fighting the Bad Batch with CX2 on Mount Tantus. One of these guys actually chops off Crosshair's hand, and they take them captive. They have some really, really cool fights in that episode, like hand-to-hand combat fights as well. These guys are not to be messed around with. And they have such cool designs. They get picked off throughout the episode, but there's not really any of them that get killed very easily But man, as an animation fan, as a Clone Wars kid, as a Bad Batch fan, this would be just amazing. But dude, look at like just the uniformity between them all. I love the unique helmet designs. There's like the Wrecker style one, the Crosshair style one. This is obviously supposed to be Tech. This one I believe is supposed to be probably Hunter, and then this one's supposed to be Echo, I guess. But super, super cool. I love the way that all these guys look. Yeah, Wrecker would have to probably be a deluxe figure on his own. Also, he's slightly bigger as well. Which is, then they should do the season 2 and 3 looks. And they can do a little bit of reuse. This is true, Stu John. You're absolutely spitting, dude. Crosshair's hand-to-hand combat reduced by 50% after he got his hand chopped off. That's using your noodle, dude. But no, these guys are great, and I didn't even realize, I've never seen these images for these guys. I've only ever seen screenshots from the series, and this was amazing to see this right here. What a great post. What a great post. Loved this, dude. But let's keep it moving here, because we have these in Black Series. Need them in TVC. The Season 2 looks for the Bad Batch. TVC doesn't even have Imperial Crosshair. What the hell are we doing? And speaking of, there it is, Howlrunner. What are we doing, guys? We got to get these in TVC. And a lot of this is a lot more reuse opportunity than even just having to tool them once. So much reuse on every single character here. Dude, I loved seeing that post, dude. That post, I was like, what? I literally just stopped everything I was doing. Yes, that's what I mean. 5-pack, do them however you need to do them for the anti-batch. I love that name too, the anti-batch. Yeah, Record Tech, Hunter, Crosshair, Echo. Come on, man. This would be so sick, dude. I would love this. And then the last batch. I've been wanting this. If you guys have been watching my channel for some time, I've been asking for the last batch. I love this name too. I've been asking for these guys for a long time. I've been really, really wanting these. There, again, so much reuse here. Maybe update some tooling on some of these guys, but I just love these stealth armor looks. The blacked out looks for these guys just look fantastic. Would just be, to me, it would be a slam dunk. It's a no-brainer. I mean, there's plenty of Bad Batch love out there. Even if you did this as like a limited fan channel release, I feel like it'd be, this is the way to go. Stu John coming in. I had to reduce my Bad Batch displays for Black Series. Too little room, too many great figures in the last year. That said, I'd 100% pick up Imperial Crosshair. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I love this blacked out look, man. It's so sleek. I love it. Echo doesn't wear his for too long because he ends up transitioning to the TK Trooper disguise, and he gets like the protocol droid hand for it. I try to come up with names other than Clone Assassins, Bad Batch in Blue, and Stealth Armor Bad Batch. I forget what I think I just called them the CX clones, and because people do submit them as submissions for Black Series Order 66 March Madness every year. They haven't ever made the bracket, but they've been submitted by multiple people both years. So I put them down as like CX clone, and then I like in parentheses I'll say like whichever had whatever weapon, Knuckles, spear, dual wield, the blaster. That's kind of what I've always done, but yeah. Flat Tech. All right, bro. Get Flat Stanley out of here. Banned. Renoaz, what's up, dude? For me, I don't care if they ever finish the Bad Batch. I'd take a Glup Jedi over any of them. Bro, if it's between Pablo Jill and the rest of the Bad Batch, it's Pablo Jill. No, it's Bad Batch all day, brother. Why not both? Why not just have both? I do think they need to just wrap up the team, though. I think they should just do a 4-pack. I think we should get a 4-pack of Season 1, Wrecker, Tech, Echo, Omega. Boom, done. Get them all out, 4-pack, carded, not carded, no one cares. get the figures out. Pablo Jill, Baltar Swan, the goats. But yeah, that's kind of my that's my wish list, guys. That's kind of what I'm wishing for right now. These are my big wants. You guys have been doing a great job in the community of, like, really making yourselves heard, Just know Hasbro does listen to this kind of stuff, and a great way to really voice your opinion on what you want is through these fan polls that happen throughout the year on all these different channels that you see from both Black Series and Vintage Collection. Hasbro has already shown it. We saw it on Brandon's Instagram at the beginning of the year. I mean, they're on his slide deck for his official Hasbro slides at work. I mean, this is, this is something that over time, like, it's only going to continue to get more aligned with what the community wants. So if you want your voice heard, you need to participate in these community polls. It's a great way for Hasbro to make a little bit more of a safe bet on what people would buy and what people want in these lines. March Madness Resistance Edition. Ugh, speaking of throwing up. Get out of here. HoloNet says he wants a swappable Padme nose art panel. So when I had mentioned earlier that I felt like what are they called? The Bad Batch. The stretch goals for the Republic gunship were lackluster. I felt like better ones would have been additional nose art panels or doing different accessories for the gunships that are exclusive to the Clone Wars animated show. Like, one for me, which it has been brought up by Chris Rife, they may do an accessory pack for the gunship down the line after it releases, which would be sick. The fog lights for Umbara, that would be so cool. Give me in place of the ball turrets, give me the fog lights. That'd be sick. So pumped that Lobot got #1 Black Series Most Wanted. Gotta say, I was surprised. He's my most wanted figure, and I was glad to see I was not the only one. Yeah, though I shared it earlier in the stream, but I was reached out to by the Hasbro Star Wars team. A certain member who's very active in the community reached out to me maybe a week ago now and asked me to email him the data from Most Wanted and from March Madness Order 66 edition. Yes, that bald bitch, Lobot. Can't stand him. Now I have to buy him because I told myself I would buy every winner of the top 12 for Black Series Most Wanted. Now I have to buy Lobot. Killing me, bro. Well, Black Series. So it's going to be called Black Series Most Wanted 2027 this year, and the 2026 list. You know what? I'll show that before we jump off the stream here. Let me pull up the tab. Close a bunch of my other tabs here. I got like 17 million Instagram tabs open right now. Black Series Most Wanted. Go follow the page, by the way, guys. We're almost at 800 followers. So, let's go check out... Moocher hacked Black Series Most Wanted. Yes, he did. So, Black Series Most Wanted. Here's the Instagram page. 503 total submissions. Each submission you were allowed to have 12 characters on. And here we are. Guys, we've already had one of the 12 made. So, to Stu John's point here, I doubt it's going to change much. I have a feeling I wouldn't be too surprised if before November, let's say, I wouldn't be surprised if at least 3 more of this 12 get revealed between now and the time of the next Black Series Most Wanted. Just saying. Just saying. I think there are some on here that could very well be revealed before November. And I think it's pretty awesome that a week after we revealed the list, Watto got revealed, and we already apprehended one of the community's most wanted. So, I'm seeing people in here. I can't say much. You guys know I can't say much. I have on good authority that Ponkrell will find his way, will experience the carnage of Krell sooner rather than later. You know, I'll be surprised if we get through 2028 and we haven't seen him in our hands yet. Just saying. Galactic Marine, I would be surprised if we get to 2027 and we don't see the Galactic Marine. Just saying. But yeah, Lobot is my number 1. Queen Amidala is my number 2. Queen Amidala would be cool as well. Yeah. So the vehicle transport, the LAT-C, is a completely different vehicle. It's larger. It's a different shape. So unless they fudged it, because I would love a HasLab TVC ATTE, unless they fudged it, I don't know how it would work. Ponkrell would be a big fig. Yeah, there's been talks of him being made to order, but I think that he's just going to be a fan channel exclusive. I don't think he's going to be made to order. Now Dirge and the Swoop Bike, on the other hand, that very well could be a made to order. Those are on my want list as well. But this is my wish list. I mean, this aligns with my wish list here. Which, let me pull up my wish list. Let's see if I can't pull up my Black Series Most Wanted. God, I post too much on my Instagram. That's part of the problem here. And then Instagram takes so long to load on a desktop. It's very annoying. It's like they only load like 5 posts at a time. I mean, you guys know I post so much on this page, you know. I mean, I'm sure there's people that unfollow me because they think I post a little too much. I wouldn't blame them, to be honest. My content is slop anyway. But all right, let's see. Most wanted, most wanted, most wanted. Where are you at? Where are you at? I know I have my list over here somewhere. Kickoff stream. Here it is. Bada bing, bada boom. Bottom line, every single one of those figs on screen now are day one per. That's what I want to hear. And that's the thing about a fan poll like this. Fan polls that are decided by the community are far superior to fan polls that are, you know, the where people pick the characters that go on the polls. Because if all the characters that make it on the poll are chosen by the community, then there is no question. Here's my personal most wanted list. A little bit crazy here. Kind of all over the place. Slop. I'm gatekeeping. We got some big figs on here. We got some aliens. I already got to mark off one of my Black Series Most Wanted with the Geonosian Warrior. So that was really exciting. I really can't wait for that figure. He was my number 4, as you can see. I came up with all the figures I could think of that had never been made, and then went through my list and looked at things I would 100% buy. Then I picked my top 12. Easy as that, dude. And that's the beauty of it. That's where we can find, like, commonality in, like, what the community wants. And 500 people is a fantastic sample size. You know, usually like 250 is considered a good sample size on Hasbro's end. Anything more than that is just a slam dunk win. But yeah, this is obviously, you can see my wants for Black Series are much more catered toward animation and prequels and all that good stuff. But yeah, well, on that note, guys, it's getting to be that time. I got to get ready for work. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut the stream there. This was a really, really fun stream. I had a lot of fun, considering I only thought I was going to go like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I didn't have any guests, and we just got to sit and yap for a while. I hope this was entertaining for everybody, me doing this by myself. I might do this more frequently, maybe every other week, maybe, you know, every week. I don't know. I've kind of been reevaluating how I do my channel. So, you know, kind of trying to step things up a little bit. But that's always the goal, right? Always the goal. Always reaching higher. That was my high school's mantra. But, yeah, so with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for sharing your wish lists with me. It was a lot of... Volvithmon? I'd be down. You guys know I love 03 Clone Wars. Oh, here, let me just start the stream over real quick. I was muted. Let me start over. Anyways, hey Eli, thanks for dropping in the chat here. Super fun. But with that, guys, I've got lots of stuff coming up for the channel. Tomorrow's review, it's up for ARC Troopers in the Patreon and Rancor Battalion channel members right now. The review for the Target exclusive Black Series Remnant Stormtrooper. That's what's coming out tomorrow. After that, I'm probably going to review AT-AT driver, so you'll see that later this week, as well as lots of other cool stuff. I've got Hot Toys to review, I've got TVC to review. I have like 20 TVC figures under me right now. Got a lot of stuff to review. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. This was super, super fun. And definitely, again, if you want to check out all the content early, get access to monthly giveaways. I'll be posting the pool. We're gonna do a double giveaway for April. Go check out the pool of items for the giveaways and all that awesome stuff. Hey, boom! Look at this guy right here. $4.99 super chat from Raul. Keep it coming. Hell yeah! Thanks for the stream as always. Too fun. That's awesome. I love to hear it. Good to see everybody was having a good time. Hell yeah. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the stream. Got lots of reviews coming out, got lots of content, got big plans coming up. There's going to be maybe a TVC Troop Builder fan poll with me and SWTVC, and maybe... Have I said too much? Maybe you'll find out. Maybe we'll execute Order 66 on June 6th for some galactic conquest. If you know what I mean. Something to look forward to. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to get out of here. I've been yapping too much. I got to get ready for work. I can't wait to continue to make some awesome content for you all. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. And as always, I'll catch you for the next one. May the Force be with you.